Good, my people. Froski in the full glory right now. Oh, can't lie. That's the first 5k and the first run in about probably 2 weeks, you know, and I can't lie. Bit tough ski. Can't even cap. Let's have a breather, man. Let's have a breather. We back. But yeah, man. I say that's what I'm trying to focus on in the next few weeks. Just being a lot more present and aware of what I'm doing, taking in the actual task and enjoying it a little bit more, not so fixating on, say, the end result, just focusing on day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, man. Because this life thing goes quick, bro. And when you're not really focused on the present and looking forward to future things and planning for future things, in some way you'll skip the enjoyment of now, because in reality now is all we've got. Even in the future, that will just be a present to you. It'll never be the future, if that makes sense. So the moment you're in now is all you have, because you don't even know what's going to happen in the future as well. You can plan for it, but it's not always going to go the way you want it to go. So I think just enjoying the now and being present within the now is the key, really. I think I was like that heavily, but I think once I got really dialed into the marathon prep, it kind of went away a little bit, because I was so fixated on the marathon and my time and finishing the race and how I'm going to feel right before the race. I was kind of fixated on the end result of the prep rather than the actual prep and day by day itself, really. I was going into every, say, long run thinking, right, I've got 4 left after this, rather than let me focus on this long run right now. Do you know what I mean? And I was thinking, oh, if I get this today, this is what the marathon will feel like. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it, really. And I think it kind of just took me away a little bit from the present moment. And I think that's kind of why the race went the way it went, in a sense where 5k in, I was cramping. Obviously my hydration played a part, but I just feel like there was something else at play that was saying, nah, you've put in the work, but you've kind of lost the meaning of all this in a way, in a sense where by the last 10k, 20k of the race, I was just thinking about my injury and how I've come back from it. I wasn't thinking about a time. Whereas the first 10 to 15k, that's all I could think of. So I think the race went that way for a reason, really. I think in the future blocks, and definitely this half, and then what's to come later in the year, I think I'm definitely going to be a lot more present and just focus on training session by training session and day by day, not thinking about what time I'm going to get or how I'm going to feel for the race, and not thinking about the end result. Because I think the best way and the most successful way to actually achieve that end result is to just be locked in with the day by day process and just be present in everything. So yeah, man, that's going to be the new plan ski going forward for the marathon preps, and just in general, just lock back in with that. That's one of the things that really helped me with my injury at the beginning, how present I was day by day. I didn't really think about the end result and healing too much. I was locked in. I was locked in on what can I do with myself today to better myself. So that's going to be the plan ski. And if you're also wondering about the trim, by the way, you've always got a shoot tomorrow, but they want me to have an afro, which is a bit mad because not many clients really want that. Apparently they do. My people, I'm going to fire up the first meal of the day. It's about 2 p.m. That's usually when I break the fast, so we're on perfect timing. Let's fire up some fruit and then get into the main brekkie. Watermelon, salt and lime. Truly sensational. Honestly, bro, nothing beats this combination. Hydration, tastiness, and it just slaps, bro. And mandatory when the weather's like this to be outside, bro. Don't be scared of the sun, my people. You don't want to be avoiding the sun right now. You want to be in it as much as possible. Literally, it's going to give you natural energy from the vitamin D. Like, it's fair if you take vitamin D as a supplement, but being in the actual sun, bro, it's undefeated. Every time you go on a holiday, think about it. You're always in a better mood just because the sun's out. So you need to replicate that here, bro. So when the sun's out in the UK, get outside and be in it, bro, or the US or wherever, or Europe. Get outside in the sun. It's gonna lift your mood, give you natural energy, natural dopamine, and it'll even help with your training as well, because that energy will just go into your training. Oh yeah, man. Don't be scared of the sun. One of the great things about watermelon as well, especially if you're like in a dieting phase or you're trying to lose a bit of weight, bro, it's so filling. Because it's water-based, you're actually eating a lot more than you realise, because you're eating the flesh of the watermelon and the actual water that's inside it, the juice. So if you're cutting, highly recommend. Honestly, I highly recommend doing it like this. So fasting for as long as you can, really. The longer the fast, low-key, the better. But I break mine at 2 p.m. But even if you break it at, say, 12, just start your fast with some watermelon, because that'll just curb any crazy cravings you'd usually have, because you'll be getting a lot of volume in and it's actually flavoursome. Because usually after a fast, if you're struggling and it's your first fast, you'll want to binge and you'll want to eat loads of, say, bread, toast, breakfast stuff. You'll want to go crazy because you're hungry. I understand it, but try having this first, then go into your normal breakfast. After this, bro, I'm probably just going to fire up some eggs, 1 or 2 sourdough, tiny sourdough, and then that's probably it, bro, and some kale. And it's what your body actually is requiring at that moment. It wants some carbs and it wants some hydration from the water. So getting this in at this time is perfect. Got a natural electrolytes, high in aminos as well. So for muscle recovery and building muscle, A1. Like the months this year, obviously we say this every year that the year's going fast, but honestly this year, especially the fact it's halfway now, is insane, bro. Kind of just got to constantly move and not be stagnant. That's one of the things I really noticed about coming back into, say, normality in a way, and just being consistent with it and just trying to keep going and reach that next level and get better and better. You just have to keep going. You can't really have days or weeks where you don't really produce or you don't get things out, because the time will go, bro, and before you know it, it's 2-3 weeks down the line. That's why when anybody asks me about content and, say, making even TikToks, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, I just say just start and be consistent, because that honestly is the key. I know it's kind of cliche, but the consistency shown, you'll get the benefit. I'm not even getting all the benefits just yet. I think long term I'll get even more. I know it's cliche, as I said, but you really don't get anywhere without it. You need to just see it as, right, I need to go again, I need to go again. And that's how you improve as well. The more consistency you show, your next video will naturally be better, because you'll have something to go off. To constantly just keep throwing it out there and keep trying, because there's no other way you'll get better if you don't try. And don't be reluctant to try and improve yourself as well, or like learn something and within your thing that you're doing. Like me, I learned how to edit my own vids, because I was like, right, I want to make good vids. I don't really want to get somebody else to do it, because that means I'll have to rely on somebody. So I thought, right, I'm gonna have to learn, and I have to either learn as I go and do little YouTube like tutorials here and there. And that's all I did, bro. And to this day, people ask, how do I edit and what do I edit on? And it's because I just learn. And I even watched this video of Drake. It came on my For You page, and it's him taking vocal lessons, bro. It's after Thingy dropped, it's after Thank Me Later dropped, so he's already got a debut album that sold millions of copies, but he was taking vocal lessons. And at the time, there was this girl that was his manager, and she heard him sing when he was really young, and she started laughing at the track, and Drake said, oh, that's not me, that's some other guy. But it was actually Drake. And it's just crazy to think that he's got to where he is now whilst being laughed at for what he's actually famous for now. Do you know what I mean? But even in this like little clip, it showed that once he dropped that album, he was dialing up the vocal coach and the vocal lessons. So it just goes to show, like, no matter what level you're in, there's always something to learn and something to improve upon. And even Denzel, bro, I don't know about to this day, but even when Denzel in his prime still takes acting lessons. Bro, Denzel, acting lessons, like, bro, at this point, like, what can he learn? But even if he's learning one thing a day, he probably sees it as a gain, which it is, because once you stack enough of them up, you've learnt there. And that's what you got to see it as, really, this consistency and learning and trying to improve. You got to just see it as you're stacking it up. You're not gonna get to the end result immediately and be at the best point you are and be at the best point you want to be immediately. It's just about stacking it up and just putting reps in consistently. You've got to see it as almost the gym. Like, imagine, yeah, you can't go to the gym and be wham after one session. You've got to stack up so many sessions. Like, think about how many sessions you've had from when you did a first chest day, for example, or like, say if you're like 23 or 25, think about how many gym sessions you've had doing just chest, bro. It'll be thousands of chest days, bro. But you never thought that when you first went to gym, you thought, right, let me bang out this chest day, because you were thinking in the present and just thinking, right, I need to do this and get better, and then come back next week and try lift a little bit heavier, try lift a bit more intensely, more reps. You've seen it as that, and that way of looking at things, you got to take it into your normal day to day as well. You can't just see it as, right, if I do this one call, this deal will go through and I've made it, I would have done the thing. But what if that deal don't go through? You got to keep making them calls, bro. You got to keep stacking up them calls, and it same applies to content, bro. You got to fire the next vid, you got to put another one out, you got to do the next fit pick, you got to make the next YouTube video, because it's just stacking you up and you getting better and getting closer to that end point. But as I always say, there isn't really an end point. The end point and the whole purpose is just the journey itself, because you'll quickly realize and you'll get to the point where you're X amount of videos in, or X amount of training sessions in, or financially in, career wise in, and you'll get to the point where you're like, I just keep chasing the next level, and there's always a next level. So what's actually the point of this? Oh, the point is the actual chase. The point is the actual process of me getting there. The point actually is the journey. And that's literally it, bro. That's why I always say journey lasts forever. Because it's all we got, bro. It really is. And even if you're doing this content thing, don't see it as a, I want to blow. Yeah, we all want to blow, bro. But you're not going to blow if you don't consistently put the shot up. It's like Kobe or Michael said. I think it was Michael. In order to score, say, through however many thousand buckets, he had to miss another 1,000 lot of buckets. You got to put the shot up, bro. If you don't put the shot up, bro, you'll never score. Or you'll never miss, you'll never know. So the shot has to be put up. So whether that's training or career-wise or content-wise, whatever you're doing, just keep stacking them bricks and putting the shot up. That's literally it. And enjoy the journey, because the journey lasts forever. Full brekkie about to get fired up. Today we're going high volume, because the boy is hungry. On a cut, you want to kind of prioritize high volume over low volume. That way you're just fuller for longer. Makes the cut way easier. We're going to do lower calories but with more volume. We got some chestnut mushrooms. Going to do the plantain. Going to do the kale ski. Parmesan going on 2 things. 6 of the free range farm eggs. Get dicing up and firing up. Firing up the mushrooms now, get the olive oil in there, throw these boys in. Mushrooms are a food where they can handle really high temperatures, because a lot of it's water based, so you're going to be draining out a lot of the water from the actual mushroom and then cooking it. So it's pretty tough to burn a mushroom. If you're burning a mushroom, you really are cooking it. Quite a lot in there, but these are going to shrink, you see. So once these are cooked, it'll probably look like half the size of that. I'll just use the rest of this pretty much. Throw that down. A little olive oil, a bit of water, trust me. Add a bit of moisture to the kale. Now I've got to season it. I'm going to go Maldon salt. This is probably the best salt I've used for cooking. This and Celtic. A little bit of garlic granules. Whoa, that was a lot of garlic. The onion powder. Just dust it on. Disperse it evenly in the tray, because that'll be the thing we cook last, because that is the shortest cooking time. See what I mean about them shrinking though? Literally almost half the size. Right, the plantain can go down. Only 2 minutes aside. Time to flip, and we got that golden brown colour. Pretty much perfect, broski. Eggs ready to fire. We're gonna go with a teaspoon of butter. I kind of like it as well when the butter's kind of burnt. It gives like a smoky flavour almost to the eggs. But I've took the pan off just because we don't want to actually burn the egg. We're gonna be flicking it and pulling it on and off the heat. Just pull it like that. Because right now it's still cooking because the pan's hot. Oven's nice and hot. We can throw that kale in. And again, just move it. And with this method, bro, you're basically like letting the pan do a lot of the work, really. It's folding them over now whilst they're in there. But you have to be quick with this because if you leave it too long, you'll overcook the egg. You want to keep that fluffiness. Peeping mushrooms now, proper shrunk down. These are pretty much done. Plantain pretty much there as well now. We'll take that out. It's like a station. You tick one thing off and then go on to the next. Back on with the eggs we go. These are pretty much there now, really. At this point, I'm gonna chuck some of the mold and salt in. It's important as well with the salt not to do it too soon. Because if you do it too soon, it'll get rid of the fluffiness of the eggs. Look at them. Look how fluffy. Mad fluffy. Invest in the steel pan, broskies. Honestly, steel pan is a game changer. Take this kale out now and add the palm.